Hey everyone, welcome back to the Jim Handy channel. And if you're new here, thanks for stopping by to check out the video. We have a fairly short video today. It's not going to take long at all. We're going to take care of a squeaky hinge. Now it sounds really simple, but the one thing I wanted to be able to do was show you a really simple, quick, easy way to take care of a squeaky hinge on a door with things that I'm pretty sure that you have just laying around the house. There's three things that we're going to use to actually pop the pin out of the hinge and actually lubricate the hinge pin and then put it back in. And I'm going to show you the only three things that you need to do that. And here are the three things. They're really simple. You need a hammer. I have just a screw that I found laying around in my box of screws and nails. You could use a nail. You could even use something like an old drill bit. You just need something that has a little bit of length to it and isn't so big around that it won't fit into the same space as the hinge pin. But anyway, I'm using a screw, so in all likelihood you have that or a nail lying around. And then petroleum jelly. There are certainly other things that you can use to lubricate a hinge that if you have lying around. 3-in-1 oil obviously works. WD-40 is a popular choice for that as well. And I have something here I keep around, white lithium grease. That will work. But pretty much everybody has petroleum jelly lying around the house, and it is a really, really effective lubricant. It works great on hinges. So I've used it for a lot of stuff. So that's what we're going to use. So let's go ahead and go inside the house and check out the squeaky hinge. Okay, so here we go. This is the door to my bathroom. And when it opens, the top hinge squeaks like crazy. So there's nothing like going to the bathroom and announcing it by the fact that there's a squeaky hinge on the door. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop the pin out of this, and then we're going to lubricate the pin and then put the pin back in. And it's a really, really simple operation. And now I'm going to show you how we do it. Okay, so we're inside the bathroom now. We're going to go ahead and see if we can start to work this pin out. I've decided to use an old drill bit. I was looking, and I think the screw that I had found was a little bit too big in diameter. So this is a little less, or a little bit smaller in diameter. I think will work better. Again, a nail works really well. So I'm just going to position that right up underneath. And just so you know, this is hollow. These hinges are hollow, and that's what the pin goes down. And it's open at the bottom. So that does allow you to get something in the bottom so that you can start to tap. Now this is being a little bit stubborn, so that's okay. We're going to introduce a fourth tool, a screwdriver. And what we're going to do is give this a little bit of encouragement. At the top of the hinge pin is flanged, so it sits just on top here. And if you get right in that groove and just kind of give it a little bit of a tap and then angle your screwdriver down, this might be necessary to actually break the pin loose initially. These hinges have been on here for quite some time. So we're just gonna work this. If I can keep my hand out of the way. There we go. So what I was able to do was just using my screwdriver, I was able to get that started. Now, we'll go back to our, again, I'm just using an old drill bit. I'm going to start So we just keep tapping up. And you'll see when the pin gets up so far, it'll be loose. And you should be able to wiggle that. It may be necessary to open the door. There we go. And our pin came right out. So that takes care of the pin. Now, what I'm discovering about this is I believe the hinge itself is slightly bent, and that's the primary reason why this pin was a little bit harder to get out. But this is why you want to use a nail, because the diameter of a nail is perfect, and then you have the of course the nail has a head on it, makes it a little bit easier to tap in. But again, I didn't have the typical kind of nail like I needed, so I just used a drill bit. Started out with a screw, which was too big, but ended up using an old drill bit. So anything that's small enough to get up inside there, even if you have like a small diameter screwdriver that would fit up in there, that would work great as well. So there we go. So we've got the hinge pin out. Now we're going to clean it up and show you what we do to actually lubricate it. Okay, so we have our pin here. And it's kind of interesting, the lubricant that is on this, it's real sticky. I guess that's what comes from the factory, but you can see, I mean, it's almost glue-like, which is very interesting. So I'm just using an old paper towel to try and get some of that old substance off of there. You just want to make sure it's decently clean. I'm not trying to get everything that's on there off. All right, so there we go. So we've got most of that off. And all we're going to do is going to take our finger, dab it into the petroleum jelly, and we're just going to give this a nice coat. It doesn't take a lot. But you want the entire length to have lubricant on it. Just like that. And that should do it. So we'll take our pin, go back over to the door and get it back installed again. Now you may notice that the two halves of our hinge here are not quite aligned. So what I'm going to be doing is just pushing in on it on the left-hand side over here with one hand. And this is common. We'll get our hinge pin started. Give it a little wiggle. We're going to take our hammer and just lightly tap. There we go. Goes back in much easier because we've got a nice coat of petroleum jelly on it. Now let's check out the squeak factor. All right, let's see how we do here. Total silence. So that's it. That's literally all there is to lubricating a hinge pin. You can come in with like WD-40 and you can spray without taking the hinge pin off, but you don't really get the lubricant down into all surfaces of the pin itself. In all likelihood, in no time, that squeak is going to come back. So it's always best to remove the hinge pin. Again, find a big nail or some other very slender, longer type of object that you can use with a hammer to put on the bottom and tap upward to push that pin out. That is far and away the best way to do this. So there we go. Simple as that. I think the whole effort took under 10 minutes. And that was really only because I had to make another trip back out into the garage and find something a little more slender to use as a tapping device to get the hinge to tap out. But yeah, really simple thing. There's no need to let hinges be squeaking. Just find some petroleum jelly, a little hammer, and some sort of slender object. The nail works best, but you can find just about anything around the house to use. And that'll take care of that. So I hope you found this useful. If you did, greatly appreciate it. If you could give the video a thumbs up and a like. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. It costs absolutely nothing. And I greatly appreciate it. It helps the channel out a lot. And with that, hope everybody has a great day, great rest of your week, and we'll see you again on the next video.